Hey, this is Mitzi. I put out a post a few days ago to find out what you would like to see me make, and one thing my daughter said that she remembered from when she was growing up was us making cabbage rolls. But today what we're going to do, we're going to simplify it. Instead of doing cabbage rolls, we're going to do deconstructed cabbage rolls, and it's going to be in a casserole dish. So hopefully it's going to taste just as good because it does have the same ingredients, just cutting out a few steps. So let's get started. So here are the ingredients that I used to make this casserole. And here is a list of the ingredients. You may want to pause at this time and write these down. So Miss Kinsley is going to watch Nana. First thing we're going to do is get our cabbage, and I'm going to cut this cabbage into some strips. Just cut it away from the core. Now this cabbage here, it's got a little bit of a bad place. I'm going to cut that out. Take off this outer layer that's got a few places on it. That's one good thing about doing it deconstructed. You don't have to have perfect cabbage leaves. You can cut off and use a cabbage that you've had a while. If you were doing just cabbage rolls, you would need a good, bigger head of cabbage, and you wouldn't be able to salvage like I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the cabbage up. I'm going to loosen them up into a ball. Just like that. Actually, cutting vegetables to me it's kind of therapeutic. Just be careful when you're cutting up anything. Watch your fingers. They say use the claw method. I'm not a professional. You remember my favorite part of cutting cabbage? She loves to eat the core. There, that's my favorite. Salt, raw cabbage. So I see a little piece here. I'll get out. But yeah, I'm not putting a lot of cabbage in this casserole, but it's going to be kind of like noodles. I also make an eggplant lasagna and use the eggplant kind of like noodles. So there's the cabbage. You don't have to pre-cook this like you do when you're making cabbage rolls. You have to steam your cabbage so you can wrap up every little pocket of meat. So we've got that. We'll set it aside, and we're going to start on what would normally be the filling. And get this out of the way. So what I've got here is just original, Uncle Ben's original rice. This long grain rice. I'm going to put a cup and a half of rice. That worked out almost perfect. So I've got that. I've got a pound of hamburger from Pack Family Meat in Dobson. And if you live in the Dobson area, you can, let's see if I can get this. If you live in the Dobson area, you can find them at the farmer's market every Thursday from 3 to 6. Preston K is the one that has the business. This is turkey. I bought a big batch of turkey. I took it apart, froze some of it, and I thawed the turkey out. This is a pound of turkey and a pound of hamburger, or ground beef. Alright, now, and I didn't cut up my onion, which I should have already done, but I'll do that in just a minute. We got 2 eggs. The eggs, they come from the farm in Dobson. And I know y'all hear me talk about the farm a lot. I shouldn't have done that. I know y'all hear me talk about the farm a lot. And it's just a local farm, and it is kind of a commercial farm. They have a little store over there. They do the CSA boxes. I'm gonna wash my hands. And we'll get this onion cut up. I'm going to use the same board that I used to cut my cabbage and chop up my onion. I'm only going to use half of it. Cut the ends off. Thank you, Jessica. Take the outer layer, take it off. Let's do this. I think it's good when families have worked together long enough that, you know, like you can see me and Jessica, we work really good together. And you kind of know what the other person needs. It's kind of like almost a dance in your kitchen. When you grow up cooking with your mom or your grandma, you leave a legacy. And to me, I show my love through cooking. So let's chop these up a little finer. Some people, they don't like it big pieces. And see, Jessica, I guess you do the same thing I do. You put the onions in a baggie. So we're getting this onion all chopped up. See, a half an onion makes a lot. You may not like onion, but when it gets cooked into meat, it adds a good flavor. It's not going to be, if you've never ate onion cooked in a meat and you've just ate raw onion, it's totally different after it cooks. It gets sweeter, softer.
To a meatloaf.
Oh yeah, this is kind of like a meatloaf, except you've got cabbage. The sauce is a little different than normal meatloaf sauce. In a meatloaf, you would use a bread ingredient like breadcrumbs, or some people use crackers in a meatloaf, but I'm going to do like Jessica said. We get in with our hands and we mix stuff up. So I've got the rice, the ground beef, the turkey, the onions, and I'm going to need Jessica to get me out about 3 teaspoons of salt to start with. If I had a tablespoon, I'd probably put at least a tablespoon. Let's do 3, maybe 4 teaspoons of salt. There we go. And a couple of teaspoons of black pepper.
That's better.
Yeah. That's a lot of pepper, but it's gonna make it really good. Let's do, next we're gonna put turmeric in this. I've never saw a recipe that called for turmeric, but turmeric is so good for inflammation. I'm trying to incorporate it into a lot of my meals, and if you can incorporate turmeric in anything and you have inflammation, it's going to really help you. So let's do a couple of teaspoons of turmeric, and this is going to probably, yeah, it's going to stain my hands a little bit, but that's what turmeric does. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of dill. It's dried dill flakes. Gosh, that turmeric does smell good. And another thing is this meat, there's not a lot of fat in it, especially since it's mostly turkey. The Pack family meats, their ground beef is, I believe it's 80-20, but when I cook it up, it don't put out near as much grease as the 80-20 that I would get at the normal grocery store. So the last thing is going to be parsley. And we're going to put 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. Actually, I'm making this one. We might put 2 teaspoons of parsley. And if you'll see, this is just like making up a meatloaf. And normally this is what would be inside of your cabbage leaves. Alright, 1 and 1 more. Just everything we're doing, put a heavy teaspoon. Alright. Now, the way I'm going to do this is we're going to get our flaky dish.
Does it need to be greased or anything?
No, the breakfast is only greasy. So, let me wash my hands and we'll mix up this and then we'll assemble it. So, we've got tomato sauce. And this can it's a 1 pound can of tomato sauce. You can get any brand you want. Some people want to put a little bit of sugar in this. You can if you want to, but I'm not going to do sugar. I don't want it real sweet. So here's the little secret. See this nutmeg? I don't have a teaspoon, but I'm going to try to do about a half, maybe a 4, not quite a half teaspoon of nutmeg. And then cinnamon. This is going to give a little bit of what I would call an exotic taste to the sauce. So we're going to do about a half teaspoon of cinnamon. Not enough to overpower it, just enough to give it a good taste. So stir this up. And we need to go ahead and cut the oven on to 350 and let it be preheating. So we're going to put just like layering up lasagna. We're going to put just a little bit of sauce in the bottom. Then we're going to put, next, we'll crumble the hamburger. And then I'm going to put this on top and then the sauce, so it'll be kind of like the hamburger would be inside of the cabbage. So I'm just going to sprinkle this around with my hands. You don't want it just a flat meatloaf in between. You want crumbly. while I'm washing my hands, I let Jessica take half the cabbage and put it over the top of this. I'll move over and let her do that. So I need to put half of this meat mixture, just a little bit more.
So we're gonna layer it like we would lasagna?
Okay. Just like we would lasagna. A little bit more. Alright, now I'm going to step over and let Jessica get here and put the cabbage.
I think Kinsley's ready for some cabbage rolls too.
And if you need to break it apart to kind of get it
Oh yeah.
layered over it, we'll put half the sauce and then we'll do another layer and we'll start baking.
Okay. A little bit more?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Fill in some of this sauce. So what I'm going to do now is put a layer of the sauce. Just kind of spoon it over it. When this cabbage cooks, it's going to put out some water. Alright, now, more meat. You can put more cabbage than this. I had a small cabbage head. So now we're going to put our final layer of cabbage. Jessica had to go tend to a fussy baby, so I'm going to finish this up. Try to cover it as much as possible with your cabbage. I could have left these in cabbage leaves and just lay them on top, but when you break them up like this, cut them up, when you start to cut it, it's going to be easier to cut. You're not going to have to just cut through the cabbage leaf. Try to get it spread out as much as possible, the sauce. Now we're ready to put it in the oven. So now we're going to take this deconstructed cabbage roll, or you can call it a cabbage roll casserole, and we're going to put it in our oven that has already preheated up to 350 degrees. And this is going to stay in here for an hour and 15 minutes at 350.
So here's what the layers look like when you slice it.
So there you have it, a deconstructed cabbage roll. Let's see how it tastes. Just how I remember. Tastes just like cabbage rolls. Only a lot simpler.
A lot simpler.
Thank you to Pack Family Meats, The Farm in Dobson, my daughter Jessica, and my son James Bricky for the sound. Please like, share, and comment. And as always, thank you for watching Mitzi's Market Fresh Meals.